Welcome to the Evolution of a Man, the show where we drop the mask, the ego, the filters, and talk the real. No political correctness, no pretending, no cute answers. Just raw, honest conversation about what it really takes to grow as a man today, mentally, spiritually, financially, emotionally, sexually, and everything in between. I'm your host, Dr. JR, and today I've got these powerful men at this table. Real men with real stories, real struggles, and real growth. This ain't therapy, but it might heal you. This ain't church, but God would definitely get mentioned. And this ain't a gossip show, but we're talking about everything men usually say and think behind closed doors. I want to let our guests today introduce themselves and what makes them qualified through their experiences to talk about how men can evolve.
My name's Harvey Logan. I've been married 15 years and been with my spouse for 17 years. So I think that's why I'm qualified.
Oh man, that's dope, bro. Yeah, my name is Tracy Johnson.
Okay.
I was married one time, but it didn't work out. But I'm a military veteran. I'm a retired firefighter for the city of Birmingham after 20 years. I'm a business owner. I would like to also say I was the first person in my family to graduate from high school. The only person to graduate from college. So I'm here.
All right.
Okay. I'm Jabril Davies. I'm an entrepreneur. One of the reasons I feel like I'm here to be able to speak on this topic is the evolution of where I came and what I came from. So just being consistent in business is something that we need.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm the person to talk about it.
Okay. Well, guys, we're gonna be authentic as possible. I want you guys to speak from the heart. I want you guys to be real, passionate. Don't hold anything back. Be yourself. Feel free to express yourself in any type of way you feel moved to do so. And because it's our job to make sure we give people the unfiltered truth about how men need to evolve and what we need to do to evolve. So let's jump right into it. My first question that I have for you guys is, what is the moment that humbled you and made you realize you weren't the man you thought you was? Let's start with you.
All right. The moment that humbled me and made me realize that I wasn't the man that I thought I was, I would say, honestly, the moment, and I know this may sound a bit cliche, a bit crazy, but as a man, you're built off of strength and, be fearless and never be afraid, all those type things. But for me, the first moment when my son was born, and I was in the waiting room boo-hooing, that right there let me know that there's a different level to this than that I've been taught my entire life. So for me, that's when things really change.
Yeah, well, for me is that my brother, he talked about being married for a number of years and things like that. In regards to myself, that's the department where I lack, saying, being able to have a sustainable relationship and being the person that's always been in charge, always been the shoulder that everybody could cry on, right? But I had nobody to vent to or no leverage, because what I did realize is even as a single man, you can only go so far by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I know that in that department, that's where I have to shore up my life and help. That's going to help me get to where I think I need to be.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I say when I found that I wasn't the man I thought I was, I probably was maybe 32, 33. I woke up and I didn't have any goals.
Yeah.
Like I was having fun every day. And I had kids. I knew how to, make $1.
Right.
But I didn't have like a consistent plan of where I wanted to see myself by the time I was 40 or 50. So that's when it really hit rock bottom for me, was just noticing that, when you don't have any direction, you just pretty much just spin.
Yeah.
Like when I knew I wasn't
true.
the man that I thought I was, for sure.
And just to kind of piggyback on what you guys were saying, for me, it was more so like, having a child, but realizing that I could not sustain relationships. You know, similar to what you're saying, just I didn't have the skill set. I knew I wanted a woman.
December boy.
Right. I
That's
knew
those Sagittarius. Right?
So I knew I wanted a woman, but I knew I didn't have what it took, and I would literally psych myself out thinking that I could do it. But all the characteristics and the responsibilities of being with someone, I thought I had, but I didn't know the true definition of what those things meant, like commitment, being truthful, having integrity, being honest. I didn't know those things were the fabric that makes a relationship. Like you said, you can't do all this stuff by yourself, but I didn't know that those things were glue that keeps that together. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right,
and even that with me, I now I feel like I'm running out of time. I'm 52 years old now. I just turned 52, and then on top of it, I still do bonehead stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just got caught up on my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to keep it 1,000, I had to go back and apologize, right?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
why give away? Why try to go do something else when you know you got somebody who actually has your benefit, has your work in their possession, and you just want to filter it off just for the sake of your own selfishness?
Yeah.
Because me personally, I feel like I'm a high value man. I got all my own stuff. I'm doing everything myself. So I'm like, I could just get anybody.
Yeah.
You can definitely just get anybody.
Right.
But guess what? The person who really gonna hold it down for you is the one you're gonna try to give away for no reason.
Yeah.
I said, well, go ahead and be with somebody else. And she was like, why you gonna tell me to go be with somebody else? You don't want me? Ma'am, I really do, but I really don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing when it comes to like culture though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cause in our culture, to be the man is to have multiple, you know what I'm saying, women. You feel me? So then, when you get into your adult age, you start noticing you following rules that were set by children. You know what I mean? Like, you trying to get every female that come by. But then you got somebody good at the house. So when you just waste time with somebody that you know you wouldn't even invest time in, bro, you lose something valuable, and then you try to reduplicate that moment that you lost for the rest of your life and end up holding it on for real.
Right. It may take you years to get that back, or not. You'll never get it back.
And even with that, what if, like, for example, that girl could have just said, piss on you and be gone, right?
Yeah.
But
Not literally.
she was,
though,
Yeah,
no R. Kelly.
No R. Kelly,
I ain't
yeah.
getting pissed on. But what I appreciated the most about her is that she didn't charge me, and she came to talk to let me resolve and get by the issue that she had, because she has, and this is what she said. She's like, I got options, right?
Yeah.
I got people who want to love on me and be with me, but I'm trying to be with you because I feel like you probably the better person, you know what I'm saying? But you trying to make it bad for me.
Well, what men have to understand is this too. We all came from the union of a woman and man. So when you look at the power of and the benefit of being with somebody, and you look at the spiritual union of what does a woman bring into my life, right? And not just any woman, the right woman.
Right.
When you, for instance, 86% of millionaires, and I just read this study, are married because of
saw that.
Right, because of the stability, because of who you can go to and confide in. And you can't diminish a woman's strength just by thinking because you got all this money, you got all this fortune and this fame, that home front power is what develops you, is what builds you. Somebody said that love is the greatest nutrition. It's the greatest nutrition.
I agree.
Because chemically, if you have it, it keeps you going. It keeps you alive.
It's a
keeps
satisfying
right.
feeling.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that in today's society, we diminish that. We feel like somebody already has to come perfect. Somebody has to already come with these qualities and these qualifications. But when you look at it from a spiritual perspective, God ain't done with us yet. We all have things that we're flawed in.
Right.
But when we talk about union and we talking about coming together, and that's the thing, you may have something I need. I may have something you need. But if I'm looking at what you got or what you're doing that I don't like, I'll never see what you can give me to help me on my journey, and vice versa. And that's the thing about cultivating. We do that with our children. Like, for instance, we take our children, we love our children unconditionally. No matter what they do, we still love them.
Right.
And we still have patience with them. We still talk with them. We still try to make sure they're making the better decisions. But when somebody has proven their loyalty and their worth and their sacrifice in our life, we don't exhibit that same love and patience with that person as we do with our children. You see what I'm saying?
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword. For me, now I can only speak from my own perspective, and it's kind of the direct opposite. Because me as a person, I never, if a woman comes to me, she don't have to be nothing but the person for me.
Right.
But my problem with myself is that I always felt like I wasn't good enough. So I had to do more to myself to satisfy
like you
my
undeserving.
like that I was undeserving of this
Right.
person when, you know what I'm saying, she was there for me when, you know what I mean, I wasn't there for my own self.
yourself,
And
right.
on top of it, coming from where I came from, I ain't seen no positive relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I just had this discussion with her about that. So you are directly affected by the things that you're around, that the things that you see, the things that are that you look at.
Right.
But what I have learned over the past few months is manifestation.
Yeah.
Right? I just told her, as much as I speak life into my business, I have to speak life into a wife too.
Yeah.
The same way.
Yeah,
If you supposed to be my wife, she was like, stop telling people I'm your wife until you marry me. No, ma'am. Let me get it together. I gotta say it aloud. You know, when you go to church, they say you gotta confess.
Yeah.
Confess with your mouth. So believe in your heart. You feel me? So I say that.
So I want to. That poses another question. I want to ask, and I'm gonna start with you on this one, Jabril. What destroyed more relationships? Is it a lack of love, a lack of healing, or a lack of accountability?
I say, man, I'm gonna say a lack of love. To be honest, in my opinion, like growing up, cause we say the word love, but love is the action. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
growing up, I got married early. You know what I mean? Because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. You get married, have a family, slow down. But when you young and you really still trying to figure it out, you don't really know what love is. You ain't really been tested.
Right.
Like you say, to death do you part. But then as soon as it go left when you young, what we gonna do? We gonna go find something that make her feel better. Then we gonna act like it did. We ain't gonna take accountability. 'Cause we ain't in love. Right. We ain't really worried about healing because I don't love you enough to try to heal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So love just the right, like he planting a seed that you can go left or right. So I definitely say love because I mean love is the glue to the whole relationship.
Well, speaking from somebody that's been married 10 plus years, I mean solid. Just to piggyback off what he said, what do you think is the reason or the ruins for a relationship?
Me personally, if I had to, say which is what, I would say for me it's accountability. The reason why I say accountability, I can speak on my own behalf.
Right.
For the sake of accountability. The person that I was when I first got married, I'm not that same person. A lot of things that I would have done, things that I would have not looked at it as bad back then. Now, I would say, that was the complete opposite of what I should have been doing. But it took me growing as a man, it took me getting into a space where you may feel like, man, I could possibly lose this person that I may not have felt like I had this much love for until it's a point where that person may be ready to walk out of your life. And at that point, if, your spouse, your wife, whatever gets to that point, and that's not something that you want, now, for me, you have to be able to do the work. And whether it's therapy, whether it's stop following girls on IG, IG models, and all those different things. Whatever that may look like for you doing the work, that's something that you got to do. But like I said, for me, the biggest thing is going to be accountability and the lack of coming from, whether it be men or women, because a lot of times nowadays people try to make it seem like it's a gender thing. Right. But in reality, it's what each individual person is going through, whether you're going to be accountable or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and I agree with you on the accountability part,
Yeah.
because I'm kind of in between both y'all, right? Because
Right.
I was in the military.
Right.
I was married young. I got married when I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the military gave me stability.
Right.
Right. So now,
discipline.
I didn't really do a lot because I was in a place that I was unfamiliar. I was out in California. I left Alabama. I was in the so, and then on top of it, when I got married, my wife had 2 children, 2 young children. So I was being a responsible young adult, trying to do the right thing as a man when I had to learn that. But the reason why I took on that responsibility is because I didn't have a father. My dad was never in my life. My dad was an alcoholic, so I played sports. So the men that I looked up to were, athletic coaches, my football coach, basketball, and that kind of stuff. But on accountability, I was accountable as a young person. Where I became unaccountable for, as a grown man. I made all my mess ups after 30 years old because I looked at having all my own stuff as I'm boss dog, you see what I'm saying? I can get any girl I want to, anytime I want to. So I messed over probably the best ones I should have had, but I do believe that what's for you is gonna come to you regardless. You have to evolve. That's why we here. So where I was when I was 20 years old, I'm not the same person at 50, but I had to go from there to get here in order to be where I am.
And you know what? Just to piggyback off what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's why I disagree with the male and women bashing.
Yeah, I'm like it.
Because people give more credence or credit to what you did to me versus the immaturity that they displayed when they was picking and choosing and dealing with that person. So why? Yes, I hate you, but I'm putting more energy in hating you than putting more energy in giving myself grace, saying I didn't know at that time. I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know what to pay attention to. I didn't know that I needed to have these things in place. I didn't know that I needed to learn this. And you have people that are carrying that stuff with them that happened 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and not even paying attention that they didn't have the knowledge and the wisdom. So you and a woman may have fell out 10 years ago, and she may still hate you to this day, and you like, baby, we were 2 different people back then. Why this gotta carry on a decade? You know what I'm saying?
Right. You didn't have the the emotional
intelligence,
fortitude at that time to be able to handle her because just as they say, most women are more mature.
Yeah, they mature faster
we
than
are.
us. Yes.
At that age, not all the time.
But here's the thing, and I had a woman tell me, "You're the right man, just at the wrong time." Right? But at the same time, the leverage is on the side of the woman. So, for example, I get in trouble because she said, "You tell all the girls you love them." Right, when I really don't. But here's the thing.
So you're just trying to make some money.
But the thing is, this is the rule that I kind of go by. When for any woman, even the most unattractive woman, at least 2 men in her face every day. You see what I'm saying? So on the adverse of that, I gotta be in at least 2 women face a day for one of them to pick me. So I got 10 women I'm chasing, and don't none of them like me but you. You feel me? So I'm over here trying to chase these girls, and I should be over here messing with you because you had to choose. So a man has to choose a woman. Right? She can get any man she wants, but he chooses her off the top. You see what I'm saying? What she's not understanding is that she got to fight off 10 dudes. The same 10 girls I'm talking, it's the same 10 dudes she fighting off. You know what I'm saying? So I had to realize, I said, ma'am, I have to intentionally choose you. So you can be you already the person I'm supposed to have. I just got to have the fortitude to say, well, dang, here she go.
It's her job to accept it.
Exactly.
So I want to segue into another topic that most of us, kind of, deal with on a day-to-day basis as being, and that's the sex topic, right?
Yeah, right on.
And controlling the flesh and controlling that temptation. for you know for a period amount of time just to be in love, to be in a relationship. But when we get in this relationship, sometimes we confuse sex and intimacy. So the question that I want to ask is that, do men confuse sex with intimacy, or is intimacy something most men never actually learn? We'll start with you.
I feel like, that's a good one there. So tell me this: when you say intimacy, what would be your definition of intimacy?
Intimacy is more of a mental stimulating connection,
Right.
that doesn't necessarily involve physical touch.
Okay, so let me tell you this. Let me. I'm going to use this as an example because my wife is going to watch this and she is going to laugh because this is the God honest truth.
Right.
When my wife and I first started talking, she was in college.
Right.
I've always, I felt, had a good connection with where I needed to go with females, right? So my wife came over, and when she came, she was studying, looking at a book. I'm like, what you looking at? This is Shakespeare. Oh, okay then. Well, you know anything about Shakespeare? Yeah. Let me get that book beside you and read it. I sat there, man. She would come over, I would read Shakespeare all the time. Now, had I read Shakespeare ever in my life before then? No. But I understood in order to get where I needed to be in her good graces, from that intimacy standpoint, I needed to like some Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But when we first got together, we didn't physically become intimate till probably a month and a half. But the reason why that was, I always noticed that every time I started talking to a female, we're having sex in a week or in a couple of days, but it never lasted.
Your game was strong.
But it would never last.
Right.
So I had more regard for her when we first started talking, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to go that direction this time.
Yeah.
This is somebody that I feel like, I really want this to work out.
Yeah.
So we're going to put that on the back burner and work on the intimacy aspect of it and see how that goes.
Yeah.
And for me, that was the best thing. So I feel like, yes, sometimes people do confuse intimacy and sex and go for sex more so than the intimacy side. When, like you said, you need to be focusing on the connection.
Yeah. So that's going to take you through.
Well, let me just tell you, I'm a renegade. I would just keep it 1,000 with y'all now. I'm Clap City over here. You hear me? And listen, I'm telling you, bro, nobody went lasting 6 months with me. Period. You give me but I'm telling you, this show is. I need to be a permanent fix on the show because the evolution of a man is sitting right here in this chair. You hear me? But I'm telling you, man, bro. No, but you gotta understand. I probably had trauma growing up too, right? I was short, I was dark, so I didn't think people liked me. So when I figured out the game, I had to go like a shot. You know what I'm saying? When I figured out who liked me, so I'm going change the clothes a little bit, then you start attacking them. But as I've gotten older, and me, honestly, sex for me was not the goal. So what I was trying to do is get that out the way. Because here's where people get confused. I got to know if I really like you. If sex is because most women put value on sex, and that is the largest value that they bring off the rip.
Yeah.
Because like I tell girls all the time, a seed can't be a tree unless it starts from a seed. So every relationship has to mature.
Yeah.
And just because you have sex, some people are like, well, you just want to hit me the first day and you gone. Yeah, I might hit you the first day and fall in love, and we'd be together for a long time, right?
Yeah.
But this is why I said when you choose a woman, because when I saw you off the rip, I chose you.
Right.
Right.
Based off that physical,
so the subsequent actions and dealings between you and me, whatever that was, changed the dynamic of the relationship. Because I didn't just attack you for sex, right? Every girl I hit, I liked them. But whatever happened in between us talking and conversing or going through the things that we went through on a daily basis, I can't talk to her. I can clap her, but we
But I
can't
can't-
read Shakespeare.
But that's the thing too, and that's what some of the things I think men kind of get misconstrued.
Yeah,
Some women keep their heart between their legs. So
they do.
So that's what I'm saying. You the clap master, right? You clapping. But at the same time, what I had to realize is that once you do clap,
Yeah.
the rules change.
Rules change.
And so
Right.
and so when I used to say women was crazy, I'm like, man, that girl crazy. And I had a guy tell me one time, he said, well, what you do to her? And me, when I'm having sex, I don't know about y'all, I'm going all out.
For the go.
It's 2 seconds on the clock.
You putting on the show.
You know, I'm putting on the show, so it ain't like I'm gonna give her 50% of this. I'm giving
Right.
you 100
110.
plus 110
I agree.
because our sexual performance is connected to our ego.
Correct.
Yes.
That's why you see guys that are 60, 70 years old still using Viagra because they just ain't ready to let it go yet.
Right.
You know, because we know that our sexual performance is definitely connected to how somebody views us and how somebody sees us in the bedroom. And even today, you have someone be like, "Girl, I like him, but he just ain't, he don't do it for me." You know, in that space. But I will say this: in being intentional sexually, yes, we can. You know, men can spread their seed. We can, right? We can fertilize. You know, as much as we can.
Right.
But when you talk about biblical principles and things of that nature, sex was only meant for procreation.
Exactly.
It was only meant to reproduce.
Right.
We've taken it and used it as a benchmark to fulfill our ego or our desire. You know what I'm saying? Which eventually takes us in a place where we're destroying a woman's essence by, because her womb, it gives life.
Agree.
You see what I'm saying? It creates life.
Right.
Right.
We came from that.
Yes.
Right.
So if you go up in it, I go up in it, he go up in it, then
Well,
what
she
is-
she gotta have some hold it down. She can't give it to all us.
but psychologically, if she's been hurt, or if she's looking for love, or if she's looking, if daddy issues, if she needs validation, you just said sex is the biggest thing a woman has. So men have gotten comfortable, women have gotten comfortable with bargaining that. It's called prostitution.
Agree.
Right? So you paying them
Right.
because they know how valuable it
It is. Agree.
You see what I'm saying?
I
So
agree.
Right.
so that's what we have to understand. So my uncle used to tell me, he said, "Don't none say it like husband. It say it like hot cake." So at the end of the day, we have to start understanding, like, once we have sex with these women, we can't turn around and call them crazy because we don't know how much emotion she put between her legs. That's going to say, okay, I'm giving my body to you.
Childhood trauma.
Right. So, but yeah, what's your take on it?
I'm just saying, just listening because that's I peeped that perspective and the childhood trauma and women leave with sex these days, but I don't really think it's just childhood trauma anymore. The reason why sex don't really have the value that it used to. That's social media.
Social media.
You know what I'm saying? When you get on social
So
media,
accessible.
it's like
As soon as you
if
pop
you
up.
want to see something half naked, cuz just go get on your timeline. You got to really be trying. It's on there. And then her status gonna say, I can't sleep. It's 3 in the morning. I'm like, well, that's a bad signal. For somebody who really, intertwined with what's going on.
They jumping in the DM.
So you really losing your value because, like you just said, if you hit. She might have trauma, but I'm saying you compound interest. Like you making it even worse. Because one day you gonna really wake up and say you want somebody to love you.
Yeah.
And then the woman ain't gonna know the difference between sex and intimacy. We naturally we mature enough and we eventually gonna get there because we don't gotta walk around with the baggage that women do. If we got bravado. If we get a lot of women, naturally it's still gonna make other women want you. I start go up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a double standard.
It's a double
It's
standard.
never gonna change.
So
That's
let me
just
ask
what it
you
is.
this, Josh.
Right.
Yeah.
What you think about body counts on a woman? Does it matter to you or does it not?
It does because, okay, so and we're gonna get a little deep, right?
Come on.
And let me tell you this. And also, are we talking about the body count and you still living in that city, or have you moved to a
No,
brand new
body count period. Does it matter to you if she hit say she was a porn star?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So my question is, even if she was the college freak,
Right.
right? Does she not? Does the body count matter? Most men, I'm just saying, a lot of men I talk to say body count matter. Now, I'm like I said, I'm a renegade. It don't matter. Everybody you hit before me, I really don't care.
Well,
Not to me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why it matters, and I'm gonna be honest why it matters. Because
judgment.
Well,
No. What I mean is, it also says how her judgment is as a person.
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell you why it matters to me. Because you can't do what you want to do and expect the psychological damage not to be there. And we talk about from a psychological perspective that when you are a woman, right? And we watch all these shows about king, queen, everybody was marrying a virgin, everybody was virginity represented purity, right? It represented purity in a woman.
Yeah.
The less partners she had, the less experiences she's had.
I agree.
So if she has so many different experiences, she's constantly comparing. You see what I'm saying? It's just like if we buy shoes,
Yeah.
we just can't. We got 2 pairs of shoes. We need 10.
Right.
Then 10 turn into 20. Then 20 turn into 40.
You can't wear all of them.
Exactly. But
wear 'em all.
the thing is, clinical psychologists said that women who have consistently have multiple sex partners, it's hard for them to bond. It's hard for them to bond simply because
I can see that.
they're emotionally stimulated so much that they only feel connection when they're having sex.
When they're
They don't
having sex.
understand the longevity of being with a man. And your purity is the only thing that you can give him. Exclusivity is what men love. We always want something nobody have. We want something nobody can't touch. And that's what makes a woman a upper echelon woman. But then from a life instance, me and my homeboys talk about the BBL phenomenon, right? And this is a touchy subject because I feel like a lot of women, if you want to go get your body done and you want to go, look good, I feel like you deserve that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But you also cannot not pay attention to the fact that you're advertising something that men are going to want.
Right.
So men are going to start to over-sexualize you,
Right.
because you look this way.
You got to be responsible with that new look.
Right. So what comes with that? If you get a BBL and you don't have discernment about you was used to getting 2 guys talking to you. Now you went and got the work done. Now it's 20 guys talking to you. So now your brain got to change from dealing with 2 guys talking to you to filtering out 20 different guys.
Agreed.
And the 20 guys may be in a whole different caliber than the 2 guys.
Correct.
So now you have more access, more exclusivity. You have more things that attract you, and these guys don't want to do nothing but sleep with you.
Difference is they don't want you.
They don't really
don't want you.
So it's confusing for a woman to think that that BBL made you more valuable. It didn't make you more valuable. It made you more desirable.
Yes.
But you cannot mix the two. So when I see somebody with a BBL, I'm looking like, woo, she look good. But now I'm more so focused on, okay, what is your mentality with this body? Because you're wearing tight clothes, you're going out getting attention everywhere. Even if you my girl, you're gonna get attention. Cause how many guys gonna be like, damn, she got bad.
Correct.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So it's gonna draw unnecessary attention regardless. And then sometimes I think women that have big butts and big breasts, they got somebody on standby all the time.
Every ugly women got somebody on
But
standby. But
it's different.
There you go.
Listen, how many girls you see out with them fluffy bodies busting out them clothes? All I'm saying about the body count is that if a man can evolve, so can a woman. I agree. So my point is,
I agree.
I wouldn't say that I would judge a girl for a body count because she has sex with so many people.
Right.
I would do what you said to see. I would meet her where she is in the present.
In the present.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
her mindset, if her mindset is different,
Right.
she's still gonna. And this just, and like I said, it happened to me because I just talked to my girl. She said I got options because you told me
Right.
go out there, right? Because my girl was married for 20 years. Her husband died. But then I was the first person that she dated, kind of like the second maybe, right? The first guy she dated was just giving her gifts. He wasn't taking nowhere. She had fun with me.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a relationship with her, but now she listens to all her friends. Now her friends got stuff to say about me. Plus you still grieving on the person that you just lost that you've been with for 20 years.
So why do you think, if you look at somebody's police record, and they got 2 murders, theft, robbery, why do you think that this person's record doesn't follow them? It doesn't mean anything. We do credit. If
they
you
can't be redeemed. You fix people credit, big dog.
Right.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though.
But this is somebody that's in your
Yeah.
space.
People can be,
Go ahead.
people can be fixed,
I
big dog.
ain't gonna stand. I ain't gonna
Come on
stand.
in.
I hear what you saying.
I believe.
When you saying you want to judge somebody, you know what I'm saying? Which is humanly impossible. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
get it. I get it.
Because if you run into her, bro, and we in Birmingham, and the whole Birmingham know what she got going
You
on.
hit, I hit, he hit.
I'm not gonna be with her. I'm not gonna do it. No, baby, I'm cool out here.
This is what I will say, because there are some brothers out here in that boat.
Yes. Because I
But
live out of.
personally, if you're gonna talk to somebody like that, you have to be secure with yourself as a man, going into that, knowing what it was, and you all, conversing, having a conversation, and knowing what page y'all gonna be on and what page y'all plan on sticking to. Because if not, every time somebody pass by or you see somebody that she may know from work that you don't know, and they speak or they say hey, and you know who is that? If that's who you are, and you worried looking over your shoulder, if that's who you are as a person, you probably don't need to talk to her.
Yeah.
You talking about them girls, they got 25 big brothers. They know all the promoters. You feel me? They giving out hugs every time y'all go out.
Somebody,
But that's me though. See that
Somebody
I don't do it because that be me.
That's your
I'm
way.
the person
Right.
because when a woman go with me,
Right.
Tracy, he Birmingham.
You have to have the right person for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
and she,
Right,
because
right,
I'm gonna
right.
get in trouble because you hugging every girl,
Right.
you talking too long and all that.
Right.
That's how I can't stay in a relationship.
right.
So I have to fix myself.
Right.
Trace, you gotta stop doing that. If
Right.
you here with her, then you here with her. Then
Right.
everybody in here gotta know you with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even
can't
if you're
be-
speaking, I'm holding your hand,
and I gotta keep it moving
as I'm speaking.
Yeah, I gotta
and
keep
I'm
it
gonna
moving.
So let's go to another topic. We want to talk about the emotions of a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys think? Because all of us at this table, we all came from a man and a woman, but we probably we all had fathers, but we probably didn't have fathers fathering us. That's a big difference.
Yes.
So my question is, do you think fatherless men struggle more with love or with discipline?
Love.
Why do you say that?
Because when you don't receive love, it's hard to give love. Now, I didn't learn how to give love till I had my own children. So most of the I looked at the world in a way that all the men that I was around, I looked up in a way that I didn't want to be like those people.
Right.
So that's kind of why I had to make a choice into changing how I felt. And now I'm a crier now, like, bro, I'm an old dude. I'm emotionally as heck to be an old dude. I'm like, because I'm grateful for a lot of things too.
right,
You see
yeah,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And I just realized how grateful I am to even be where I'm at. And a lot of times, because I have no doubt. Like, man, I wish I could have been like so and so. Or this or that, but I look at people who had 2-parent households, and they was just as worse off than I was. And I had a mama who had 3 children before she was 25.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dropped out of school at 15. So it wasn't nobody. And the dudes that she dated whooped her. You feel me? So that was something totally different. So I'm like, it was love because my mama didn't love on me either.
Yeah.
Because she had to go to work. She had to
she
fight off
survived.
people. You know, she had to do all of that stuff. So where did the love? I found love in sports.
Yeah.
Camaraderie in sports, you know what I'm saying? Fathering in sports, because those are the people who made me disciplined, who made me accountable for things.
Yeah.
You know, so
And-
that's my perspective on
And
that.
to hit on what you said, because I heard you say discipline. Now, myself, I came from a 2-parent household. My daddy was there 24/7. Love my daddy to death to this day. So I can't really speak in that regard. But what I will say, I had this conversation with a buddy of mine who grew up 1-parent household, and for him, the conversation that we had, he said for him, he felt like it was discipline. But he said he felt it was that because although you're a little boy, you have a mother, there's nothing like the discipline that you would get from having a daddy.
Right.
You know, the respect factor that you have, that you get from your father. The reason why I say that, and I can attest to that aspect of it, is because my wife, it's always funny, she'll say, well, you know, the same thing you said to London, which is my son, he's 14. She said that, you know, he can hear it from you, and I can say the same thing, and I can tell it's not received the same. And normally when she says it, she's saying it in a nice way. Me, I'm saying it in a manly way. And to her, sometimes she may look at it as being a bit too harsh. One of those things where it's like, hey, baby, you know, you don't have to really talk to him as hard like that. And for me, it's like, nah, I'm giving him what he needs because I need him ready for the world when he get out there. So for me, I feel like, you know, it's a needed thing, that aspect of it. Yeah, women are great at, you know, nurturing, taking care of kids, you know, and there are some women that are great at getting them for the world. But that real raw aspect of it, I feel like you need a daddy for that.
Well, even with mama, let me tell you, mama didn't
Your
play.
mama was cutthroat.
Didn't play. She was 4'11". She raised 3 boys. And she would definitely hit you in your mouth. I learned. So even when I got ready to go to the military, I was ready to go.
You were ready to go.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, discipline can come in ways because I'm just saying the love aspect is what I did. But the discipline that I got more discipline from that lady. And I wouldn't even cuss around that lady as a grown man.
My mama, I tell people, and I'm going to say that my mama was a professional ass whoop. No lie. And when I say, like, whoop, I'm going to tell y'all a story. So I remember one time, I could have been about 8 years old, and my cousins lived on the next street. So my mama would always have this rule: be in the house before the street light come on. Y'all know that. So
that sound is too late.
I'm looking at the street lights, and I'm up there playing. We having a ball. I'm up there playing, and I'm seeing the street lights click on. But I don't know, my mind honestly didn't click, but the street lights did. So I'm just up there playing. So me and my cousin playing, he puts his hand to pick up a brick. So I take a brick and I roll the brick towards where he was, but I didn't see him have a brick. So the brick that I rolled right in between the brick he was picking up and my brick and smashed his hand. He started screaming. I take off running. I didn't even see if he was okay, but I knew that he was screaming at 7:30 at night, and I got to get home so I get home. I'm hauling it, right? Well, I just split my cousin's finger open. So what you think my uncle and my auntie
They called before
you got
so they had children in the hospital. You feel me? They had the children. So they called my mama. My mama had no clue that I was, that I wasn't in the house at the time. So I get home, she was tired from work. So she came in there, they'll give you a slap upside the head, but they tired. That's a prelude to
what you about to get.
Just hold on, I'm gonna get your ass. Hold on.
Yeah.
So guess what she did? Next morning, I get up, get ready for school. As I walk in the shower,
it was ready.
She right behind me. So she get behind me, she closed the door behind me. She waited till, I guess she peeked through the door, waited till pulled my
Had
clothes
them
off, and she began to go hillbilly ninja on my ass.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
talking about she whooped me from sideways to Sunday, but the difference was she was the second youngest of 7. So she was a disciplinary. She was raised on discipline. She wasn't raised on emotion and love and all that stuff.
Right,
So she treated me and my sisters with discipline and structure. She wasn't the type of mama that was gonna hold you and hug you and
No.
tell you I love you, but she was gonna fear her to the point where you knew. I never been to jail, never been to summer school. You know what I'm saying? Graduated college.
Yeah.
Right.
I was scared of my mama until I was about 18 years old.
And I was
Sounds
35.
about right.
Yeah.
My mama
What's up,
died.
Papa?
My mama died when she was 50. My friends would cuss in front of my mama.
Yeah.
And she was like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it was a beautiful thing. But I look at my kids the same way. I got 2 boys. I got a 33-year-old, a 26-year-old, and a 10-year-old. I can tell the difference in the households that my kids grow up in.
Yeah.
Because my house is one way.
Right.
They mamas is a different way.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and they know.
Yeah.
Right,
But
right,
the
right,
power
right.
of a dad's presence means a lot.
means
You
everything.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And some people had fathers in the crib and they just wasn't those type of dads. But
Right.
I did what my mama did. And we gonna rule by iron fist. But I didn't give her as much whipping.
Yeah.
Right.
My mama was an ass whooper. But me,
right.
but what
Mama
I
too.
did now,
Right.
I whooped my kids, but
Only when needed.
and when they got a whooping, they got the best one they could
got the
get.
best
But I mean, because it was on a
It wasn't
low-key-
often.
It was low key side of child abuse over here. You feel me? Stitching cords and the wooden spoons upside their head. But I like to explain to my kids because, you know, mama said, do as I say and not as I do, but you still over here doing reckless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? My brother in the lap driving the car while she working the wheel, we drunk in the car wheel, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that was, my mom was young when she had us, so she was a 23-year-old woman
Yeah.
trying to raise some kids.
So let me ask y'all this question, right? And we're gonna get into finances as we, you know, kind of wind down. I wanted to ask, I hate to use the word broke because nobody is broke. You know, you got something. You got, even if you got a mentality, I feel like you shouldn't put that out in the universe.
No.
But men who are financially challenged, I say that. Do you think they should be dating?
Damn, I answer that. I think that men shouldn't be worrying about other men. You know what I'm saying? Me, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know what I'm saying? If a man who ain't got the female that you trying to get,
Yeah.
cuz just let it go, cuz that might not be, you know what I'm saying, who you need to be talking to just off the decision she already be making. But should a man be dating when he broke? I look at it like, bro, sometimes you just gotta go for what you know, and you gotta be ready for all situations. You can't see a female that you wanna, you know what I'm saying, you wanna pursue, but you sitting there like, man, I probably don't need to say anything to her because I'm not all the way where I need to be. But
right.
I mean, opportunities got windows though.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time you get ready,
Somebody
else already, you know what I'm saying, she ain't waiting for you like that. But then that also show the care to the female that you get. Because you might not be all the way put together, but she might like your personality and your potential. And people always say that potential, but with action without works, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's dead, you feel me? So if you the type of man that got a plan, I mean, money ain't gonna stop you from doing anything, because before you have, even when you become a successful businessman and your business is self-sufficient, before you even got to that point, you didn't have no money. You didn't even know how to start.
Right.
So you still started your business without no money.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Yeah.
I agree 1,000% because I heard Eric Thomas say this. He said you have to see it before it's tangible.
Yeah.
And what's faith?
Yeah.
What's spirituality? You have to see it before you can touch it. So if you know it and the plan, if you have a plan, you can, man, we play sports. If you whatever sport you play, the first thing the coach gonna do before you make the team is give you what? A playbook. And until you learn the plays, Can't get on the field, can't get on the court. You gotta know this information that you gotta have. So being broke and being without is two different things. Because you may have a resource. You may not have, you might have somebody with some good credit. You may not have, but if you got the plan and she got the credit, bomb, we gone. We take off like a rocket, baby. But you gotta have a plan, though.
Yeah, you gotta have a plan.
Kind of what he said. I don't see anything wrong with it because, like you said, if you're somebody that's financially challenged or, or broke, and you don't have a plan, then you probably need to put a little bit more focus into getting your life together, so you can at least have a plan first. But I do feel like I don't see anything wrong with it because you may meet a woman that says, okay, he doesn't have it all together, but I see the potential.
Yeah.
I see the plan that he has. And just like he said, you may not have something, but she may say, well, you know what, this brother may be good at this. Let me help him get in trade school.
Yeah.
He had problems. He said he went to school, but it didn't work out. He wasn't good at math. He wasn't good at science. But guess what? I'm great at math and science.
Right.
Hey, brother, go back to school and get you I still want you to get you a little job.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get you through school. I'm gonna help you over here to get you to that point. But I think sometimes where the problem is nowadays, and I know this is going a little bit into something else, but sometimes I think maybe on both sides, it's a situation where people have been there with people sometimes, and they got burned.
Yeah.
They invested.
Yeah.
They took the time,
That's
but
the
they
fear.
got burned. So that's the fear. But to get the love, you got to be fearless.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this. And I agree. Broke is a state of mind.
Yeah.
It's not a reality if you don't believe that you broke.
Right.
But I feel like I'm pretty sure about it. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is a great book. And in that book, it references Henry Ford. And Henry Ford was one of the greatest inventors of our time. He built Ford. Right.
Black folks.
But
he figured it out. He figured it out, though. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
But
all them was thieves.
Mass production.
Everything that you see came from something that you couldn't see.
Right.
And
correct.
That's the difference in when you hear women say, well, it is a need for a man to provide, right? But sometimes we equate age with, well, you 40, you should be here. You're 45, you should be here, right? And you have guys that figure it out in the latter versus in the earlier stages.
Right.
But what we see now is a epidemic of, well, if you're by this age, you should have acquired this, and this.
Right.
So you don't qualify for love because you're 40 and you haven't accomplished this. So I guess if you're 40 and you don't have a house, you don't have an apartment, you don't even have a car, and those things have not manifested materialistically for you, and a woman looks at that and she says, well, I like him and he like me, but what has he been doing for these past 40 years? Should a woman still invest in that guy? And would you want your daughters to invest in a 40-year-old man that has not had any material success based on what he's doing? Because do you guys believe that's a direct sign of a man 40 with no car, no house, or no apartment, nothing to call his own, but he still wants to date? So if you had a daughter, would you be okay with your daughter dating somebody like that?
No.
For me, no, because it shows you have, for me, a lack of drive, no discipline.
Yeah.
But what if he still got a plan?
Yeah, but
How long we gonna take for this? How long has he had this plan?
We talking about plan execution because I just read a study that the average millionaire is 57 years old.
Correct.
All right, so we can say that. But but even me, I'm 52 years old. I started one business at 20, 21, 22, right?
Right.
But I worked for
Right.
20 years
Right,
first.
right.
I went to barber school. I went to acting
Right.
school. I won't never be broke. You
Right.
feel me?
You
I
put
know
plans in
how
place.
to do something.
Yes.
Even
Right.
if I was down and out, I still have something that I can go back to
Correct.
take care of my business
Right,
until
right,
I
right,
manifest the plan that I'm manifesting.
Right.
So
Correct.
if you had 40 years to do something. Some of the best advice I ever got was when I was a firefighter. Dude said, don't be here for 20 years and all you know how to do is fight fire. You know what I did? I went and got me a bachelor's degree in business. My very best friend was a police officer for the city of Birmingham. He was a police officer for 18 years. He gets fired for drunk driving.
Yeah.
No pension,
No retirement,
no nothing.
no nothing.
He passed away after his 50th birthday with nothing.
Jesus.
He was taking all AP honors classes when we was in elementary school, middle school, high school, college. He was a mathematics major. And we ended up working for the city together. He ended up with nothing.
With nothing.
You see what I'm saying? But it can happen to you.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have no plans.
No plan.
Right.
That's
And
the
bro,
plan.
like, that made me think about, especially when he talking, like we were, when we were back at the shop, like I lived at the shop. Like I wrecked my car and couldn't get a ride back to the
Yeah, he
office
told
that day.
me. Yeah, he
You know what I'm
told
saying? I
me.
moved up, you know what I'm saying? A female probably came in and might have seen me sleeping on the couch, like, bro, bomb. You know what I'm saying? He sleeping on the couch in the shop. You feel me? Not
Right.
knowing
Not
I got
realizing
you
what's
feel me?
going
Whole business
Yeah.
going
You know
on.
what I'm saying? So,
Right.
the right one chose right. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, right.
You feel me?
Right,
So
right,
because it's sometimes you can't see, you know what I'm saying, the vision.
The
You
vision.
can't see the vision that God give you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
right.
And then sometimes you go outside for validation. I mean, as adults, you do gotta get outside validation sometimes. But when it comes to finding the right woman, though, I feel like when you're on a certain path, God like just start
Yeah, he is.
having
He
her
does.
lead to you. You
He
feel
does.
me? And if you repel it because you think when the perfect day just ain't on your calendar.
Yeah.
And that definitely changed my business, my life. Because I could have just been like, nah, I ain't in the position right now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? But she like, shit, every day she see me, I'm grinding.
Yeah.
Right.
But shit, we grind together at the same time. It just
Right.
made sense, you feel me? And, but
Right,
then
right,
that's when it get bigger and better though.
Yeah.
Feel
Because you
me?
changed what you was doing.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the thing. I think most men, when you look at other cultures, man, they get married. I met a guy at the gym yesterday, and he got married at 23. Been married, he's 58. He been married since he was 23 years old. 3 kids, structure, discipline. His wife is a stay-at-home mom. I say that to say that intentions equal elevated emotion.
I agree.
When you know how to, because it ain't just about picking a woman. It's about strategy. It's about where you're weak, she's strong.
There you go.
There
you go.
And if you have a,
There you go.
Yeah, if you have a strategic mentality, if you look at this woman and say, and that's the thing about the flesh. It doesn't see what's on the inside. It only looks at external.
Right.
So when you're moved by your flesh and you're looking at something and you're not thinking what future roadblocks this person can cause because I'm only looking at the outward appearance. But the spirit is something that you have to dig deep and pay attention to.
Right.
You marry spirits.
There you go.
Agreed.
You don't marry beauty.
You marry the beauty.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It says,
when I started getting over myself and I started realizing sometimes rejection is protection.
Yeah.
Sometimes when the person don't want me or when the person didn't see my vision, that was really God protecting me. Because my wife gonna know who I am. You see what I'm saying? She's gonna see my spirit. And I feel like that's how you choose your wife. You choose your wife by her ability to see the spirit in you. Not based on how fine she is, not based on what she looks like. If she sees your spirit, because a lot of times women are the woman that's for you, she's going to serve your spirit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And most guys don't pay attention to that because it's all masked up.
Right.
It looks. Everything is over sexualized.
Right.
So when you have the strategic mentality to know how to choose a woman that serves your spirit,
Right.
you're gonna grow with that because y'all gonna be on the same frequency.
Yeah.
That's why I read somewhere that said a lot of people have love, they don't have harmony.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're not in harmony
They're
with
not,
each other.
yeah.
Because you know, you hear a lot of times people talking about men leading and the woman following.
Yes.
Right. The right woman with the right man, the man doesn't have to say, "Come on."
Yeah.
She already coming. The wrong man, the woman ain't following you. If she ain't following you, sometimes you got to sit back and got to ask yourself why.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and you got to, whatever that why is, you may need to fix that why. It could be a why something is going on with you, or it could be something with her, and that's just not who you're supposed to be with.
Yeah.
But the person that you're really supposed to be with, the woman that you're really supposed to be with, she gonna follow you to the ends of the earth as long as you're the man that she needs.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask y'all this, and this is, and we kind of wind it down here. At this age for you guys, and you're already married, and you can speak to this, do you guys believe that marriage is something at this point in our lives that we should strive to do and be intentional about, saying that we want to spend the rest of our lives with one person, a partner, and be willing to make the sacrifices to do that? Do you feel like, because I hear a lot of guys say, man, I don't believe in marriage. I don't believe in you know, the government, a piece of paper, you know. You know, you hear guys say that. We all got different opinions on it.
Say it.
But the power of having a one woman, having a wife, strategically picking that woman, and letting the spiritual energy and God come into your life in His supernatural power. Because I watched him do it, you know. And do you believe in the supernatural power of that union with that one woman?
I had this conversation this morning before I left her house, right? Listen, I'm telling you, because
Right.
she actually, we talked about it the day before, and yesterday we talked. Here's the thing, and we kind of talked about Freemasonry to a degree, because she liked to watch a pastor in the morning before she go to work, right? But I was simply telling her this. We talk about life being a 360-degree circle. Right now, I'm 180.
Right.
I can't have a whole me without the other 180 degrees.
Right.
So intentionally, it's what I'm supposed to do. I can't be the whole me,
Person. Yeah.
just 180.
Right.
So guess what? I'm gonna marry you.
Oh yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So now I just had to get rid of that extra stuff over here that I was playing with. You have to be because the success and the level of success I'm supposed to have, I can't do it at 180.
There you go.
Gotcha.
You gotta have it.
Yeah. That's
What do
good
you think?
stuff.
And I know you come from a different culture.
Yeah.
I know you have a different vantage point on marriage and the government and contractual agreements of that nature. But what do you say to that?
I say that, like, yeah, especially like with my cousin, like, growing up, you know, being able to, you can choose, you want to have more than one wife. But now, I really look at it like that one woman being that, man, my life ain't really get to that peak where it's Gucci.
Right.
Until I really just, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm just gonna really commit to one person.
Yeah.
I ain't spending my time nowhere. I ain't gotta use my energy nowhere else.
Resources.
I'm putting it all in her.
Yeah.
You're gonna save a lot.
You're gonna
save your money. Not just money. The most valuable asset that we own is our time. Just lady don't have to come do nothing. And this is so crazy. This is so crazy, because here's the thing. Now, when I'm just telling you what happened to me, we sat and talked all night. This lady got to go to work at 8 o'clock. It was almost 2:30 in the morning before we went to sleep. And then I said, I'm hungry. She was like, you want me to go fix you something?
Right.
The simple ask. I said no.
Was enough.
I said no, right? Because
gesture.
I didn't want her to get up knowing she got, because I'm retired, so I can go home and fix me something when I leave. But for her to say, you want me, they not doing that.
So
they not doing that. They not doing that.
Matthew
not doing it.
So it's this guy by the name of Matthew Houston,
brother.
right? His name Matthew Houston. He's a relationship coach, right? So he was on this The room, he was doing a women's conference. The room was about 2,000 women. And think about this one man in front of 2,000 women. So the topic came up. He said, ladies, let me ask y'all a question. They said, okay. He said, well, who do you think's supposed to pay for dinner, the man or the woman? Everybody was like, the man. He said, okay, cool. You're supposed to have sex with him anytime you want, anytime he wants. They was like, no. He was like, well, what's up with this double standard? You're expecting me to pay for dinner. They was like, well, you can't compare dinner to sex. He said, well, the moment a guy has to pay you for your time,
There you go.
what type of paradigm is that set up?
We said it.
Now he said this. Okay, we talk about who's supposed to pay. He said, I'm going to say this. The man is supposed to pay. If the man doesn't pay for you to eat, he wasn't taught right. If the woman doesn't offer to pay, she wasn't taught right.
Agreed.
Right.
Because if I took you out to eat 10 times and you never offered to pay, I wouldn't be dating you.
You fired.
Because that's the most politest you're going to be.
Correct.
It's not the fact that you got to pay. It's just me knowing that you would pay.
pay.
It's just the gesture.
If I need
So he said he wouldn't be dating a woman that never offered to pay.
correct.
So that's the psychology of,
Right.
man, just because she offered,
You ain't gotta never worry about
That's-
it.
yeah.
And it's the
That's the
thing,
thing.
because like you said, listen, I got everything I earned, I
Right.
earned it. If
Right.
we had this conversation yesterday, that's what makes it so crazy for me to
Right.
sit here and say this and watch the progress and evolution
Yeah.
of just me from the past few days ago. This the thing. You don't have to come in this house with nothing.
With nothing.
I got everything.
Everything.
All you do is come in here with some peace. Shout it. Just come in here and don't bring me down.
Yeah.
And that's it. I ain't asking you to pay an ounce of bit. Well, I don't want to stay with a man that don't pay that. Ma'am, listen. I ain't asking you to come in and do none of that. Just come in and whatever we do with whatever you got going on, we're gonna elevate with whatever the mindset that we have. I already got to play. You just gonna come on.
So look, we're gonna end on this question because we're a little pressed for time, but this has been
love it, bro.
for me,
Hey,
bro.
look,
I
bro.
appreciate it.
It's therapeutic for me.
Right.
You said it ain't therapy. You talking about this guy. You got me good.
Yeah.
Straight over here.
Definitely. So we're gonna close with this. I want to get all y'all perspective on this. If a young man said, "How do I become a better man?" What's a few words that you would give him in light of that question? If he said, "I want to become a better man," a young man, based on you being young and where you are now today, what would you tell that young man based on your experience in his life as a man? You answer that.
Me personally, I would say, and this is just coming from my own experience, from where I was at one point in time to this point now, I would say you need to do your homework on yourself.
Man, thank the Lord.
You need to know what makes you happy.
Right.
You need to know what makes you sad.
Yeah.
You need to know what makes you cry. You need to know what makes you mad. And in discovering all those things and being honest with yourself, every avenue of life, I don't care if it's from the financial aspect of it or relationship aspect of it, or even your fitness aspect of it, but you have to be accountable.
Yes.
And hold yourself accountable for every aspect of your life. If you can do that and you can stand and look at yourself in that mirror as a man and honestly say, I'm being accountable,
Right.
you're going to develop into the person that you're supposed to be.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. And I swear you took the words out of my mouth. And for me, what I would tell a young man is, bro, nobody owes you anything. You only owe it to yourself.
Right.
To develop and to learn and to educate yourself on what it is about you that you want for yourself. Because you can cry over spilled milk all day.
All day.
But at the end of the day, who cares about any of that you talk? You know, in the Fred it says excuses are monuments of nothingness that build bridges leading nowhere. And those who use these tools are incompetent and incapable of mastering anything. But The difficult we do immediately, but the impossible takes but a split second longer. And the 3 things I learned at my high school, it says 3 D's and 3 E's: discipline, dedication, desire, execution, effort, and enthusiasm. I taught my kids that. I tell all the kids that I coach, and they remember that. Those are things and principles that you should live by.
Gotcha.
Right.
Straight up.
That's good.
Well, and I had to take from both of y'all what y'all the accountability and especially learning yourself and not being able to make excuses. Start now. You know what I mean? Because when we young, we always think, well, I'll start a little bit later.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you 28 and it just started working when you're 30. Like you could have just started when you were 18.
Yeah.
Like when you find out who you are, put your eggs in that basket. You know, sometimes you can have a plan B, but plan B distract from plan A.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
find out what you want to do, go all in, do the research, believe in yourself, and start today.
I was, all y'all had exceptional, advice, and just based on everything that you guys said, I know a young man out there would kind of be like, this is what I would need to do to kind of develop myself. But I would say, just be a sponge. I think that we don't, as young men, as a young man, we have to find somebody we can mimic. I think everybody that have been successful had a hero. They had somebody that they looked up to. It wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't a somebody that had a negative influence, a rapper, somebody that that had it. But it was, men who accomplished something had something to look forward to. They had somebody to look up to.
Mm-hmm.
They were studying behavior.
Right.
There's a difference between a mentor and a mentee.
Yes.
If you constantly remain a mentee, you'll eventually become a mentor. But the greatest thing I could tell a young man to do, when I used to play basketball, I used to be in the gym and I used to see the younger guys. And I was too young back then to recognize why would they come up to me and want to ask me all these questions. But I had, as I got older, I started to realize that they're looking up to me.
Mm-hmm.
Not just figuratively.
They
literally.
looking up to
Yeah,
you.
they looking up to me. That's why they asking questions. They like the fact that I've developed these skills. And even at my older age, I still look for mentors. I still look for guys that are doing something that I want to do, and I follow them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna take it a step further, bro. I'm so erratic with information. I have DM'd probably about 15 of the top business people I admire. And I do it every week. Every once a week, I DM them just to see if they'll respond. Because at the end of the day, social media has given young men a platform to be able to connect with their heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say is, don't just use social media for the clicks, the likes, and all the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Use it to see if you can connect with somebody who's high profile and learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the greatest gift that we have with the internet and technology, is that, man, you could touch
Almost anybody.
anybody
Yeah.
in real time.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you had to wait till you see it.
And that's what I tell people all the time. The internet allows you to be everywhere and nowhere
Yes,
at the
yes,
same
at the
time.
same time.
And to what you said, listen, the reason why I was a firefighter is my coach.
Yeah.
My first football
He was
coach
a firefighter.
was the first black firefighters in Bethel
Wow.
for 33 years.
That's crazy.
And I
crazy.
wanted to be like him, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And that just turned into a career. Like, it just made me somebody different, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm appreciative of it. I tell him every time I see him, like my dad, you know what I mean, bro? You got me somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, guys, I thank you for your time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys' presence being here today, man. This has been enlightening. This has been therapeutic. I know, like you said, it
Yeah.
wasn't therapy.
It was
but
today.
but it felt like
It
therapy.
definitely did. Listen, you just can't believe how much lifted my
Yes,
spirit
yes,
feels.
yes,
Just
yes.
because I'm not a churchy person, you
Yeah.
know,
Right,
but
right.
I understand spirit.
Yeah.
But just to be able to talk to other men,
A like-minded individual.
yeah, and to y'all just don't know how much that. Well, I'm finna get on the phone, call the girl on my way up out of here.
I'm
man.
sorry, I'm sorry.
Listen, I ain't gonna do it no more.
Right.
But listen, hey, thank you guys, man. I love you, brothers. I
Man.
really appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, dog.
This is the first episode, but I'm definitely gonna have you guys on again. I think this dynamic is great. It's healthy. I appreciate you guys coming and spread your insight and wisdom. And to conclude, tell us where we can find you, what type of business you got, anything that you can share with the people, and let people get familiar and know what you got going on.
All right, so my name is Harvey Logan. You can find me on IG at Harvey the Credit Houdini Logan, and that's credit with a K. My personal page, the Harvey Logan. If you're into fitness, you can find me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Tracy Johnson. I'm a member of Megas High Five Fraternity Incorporated. You can find me on Facebook as Tracy Johnson on my personal page, and Just for Bros on IG, Just for Bros on Facebook, Just for Bros on Instagram, and Just for Bros on TikTok. And if you want to get your favorite cute, some fresh Q-Dog apparel, go to justforbros.com. That's JUSTFORBRUHS.com, justforbros.com. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Brad Davies, CEO of Mogul Mission, LinkedIn, Facebook, IG, Mogul Mission, and if you want to get online, mogulmissionmedia.com. You need marketing, business development, we got you. If you can see it, we can do it.
I know everybody sitting at this table got years and years and years of experience.
Yeah.
Years and years and years of challenges, triumphs, and things that they've overcome. And I just want to tell y'all, I want to give y'all flowers and thank you guys
Thank
for
you, brother.
sharing
Appreciate you.
your experiences with us.
Yeah.
So this concludes the first episode of the Evolution of a Man. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. We are extremely grateful and extremely blessed and honored to be able to sit here today and share some of these experiences with you guys. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time on the next episode. So to the Evolution of a Man, we thank you. We out. First episode in the books. God bless you.